And now, it's time for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. A show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s around the world. I'm Mozette, and here's your host and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Mozette. And welcome to episode 607 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Denver Broncos. And hey, what can I tell you? From this point on, it's for realsies. Oh, gosh, it's glad to be back. I'm so glad to be back. Our 132nd episode, if you can believe that. We've done this 131 times, and we will one day, we will get it right. But in the meantime, while we're trying to get it right, let's meet the posse for this episode. Of course, the yin to my yang from merry old England. It's Matt. Hi, Matt.
Good morning, Moses. How are we doing?
Oh, Matt, we are wonderful. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm sorry, I was a little bit on the drag tonight. Really, I was cutting all the labels out of my clothes. I'm a very close follower of social media, so I've cut all the labels out of my clothes. Unfortunately, I don't own any Nike, so now the only labels I could cut out were the washing instructions. So now I have no idea how anything gets washed.
That was nice. Very nice. The washing instructions are cut out, so if someone can help Matt wash his clothes, I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I need stuff.
Yeah, well, maybe this guy can help. It's our news hound, Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. I don't think I'll be able to help, though.
No.
I went one better on Matt. I burned my Nikes, but I actually forgot to take them off first. So.
Self-humiliation, great.
Well, it's a neat trick, but limited repeat value.
Oh, burning clothes is funny. It is. And someone else who is, well, funny at times, and that is our friend Dustin. Dustin is here. Hi, Dustin.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. How are you, sir?
Good. Started this new diet a couple weeks ago. We're on week 3 now, so that's been fun. We're doing 30-10, weight loss for life.
Woo! Weight loss for life, baby.
Yeah, it's popular up here on the radio all over the place. We decided to try it, and it works. But, man, I can't eat or drink anything. So.
Well, that sucks.
Isn't that, so that diet is basically starvation and dehydration.
There's nothing. There's nothing cool about that, man. Starve yourself.
No. There's also no Pepsi, no beer, no liquor, no nothing.
What?
Not until January, basically.
Oh my God. So what do you like? Just like eating kale and grass and what or what?
Yeah, salad at lunch, salad at dinner, and then there's protein packets to go with it, and like these protein shakes that you make. Yeah, oatmeal in the morning.
I'm just gonna sit here and drink my Pepsi Max. That's great. Cheers.
Thanks.
And spike it with something good.
Do you know what? I'm just gonna tip it all over the floor. I'm not even gonna drink it. I'm just gonna.
Because you got more in the fridge, probably.
Because I got more in the fridge.
I know somebody that can maybe help you figure out how to work that diet successfully from behind enemy lines in sunny California. It's Sassman Mark. Sassman Mark.
How you doing?
Great. How are you, sir?
Well, you may have to go to the kids for that diet. I'm not sure on the answer in that, of course. And here we are. Wow, opening week 1.
I know.
And this area, these people, oh my God, if I invested in Kool-Aid just how many months ago, because they're drinking it here heavily.
In San Francisco, you mean by the 49er headquarters, yes.
And even here in the city I'm at, oh my God. I mean, 16-1 or so to win the Super Bowl. Are you... Oh my God, it's insane.
Yeah. Was that before or after Jerick McKinnon blew out his knee?
Oh boy. Well, yeah, no, that's a big
shot
loss.
fired. Yeah, that is a big loss.
My thought is that Jimmy Garoppolo I think will be a good QB, but for a guy who's used to easy scores off the field, I think he's going to face a lot more resistance in Minnesota.
Never stop Roethlisberger.
Oh dear.
What's that, Big Ben?
Yeah, I said never stop Roethlisberger.
Oh God, and they're in Cleveland. Yeah, more hard knocks.
God, well, we hope the season's not hard knocks for the Seahawks. I hope you guys are rested and ready for a brand new season of Seattle Seahawk football and the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. So let's see what's in store for this episode. Fergie?
Let's get it started in here.
Yes, let's get this show and the season started in here. This show is broken into 4 quarters and a halftime. Quarter 1 we will recap the preseason and look at the roster with a special punter edition of Headlines and Punchlines, where we'll try to come up with a new nickname for our new punter. That should be fun. Quarter 2, mind-blowing predictions of the 2018 Seattle Seahawks season. You will hear it here first. 2-minute warning, we will talk about the 3rd annual 12-Man Fan Jam Show Prediction Challenge. And of course, at halftime, it is the best Seahawk-themed play-along game on the internet. It is 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
of the world.
Yes, and I believe Mr. Thundercats won the last show, did he not?
I win most of them, so probably,
yeah.
Preseason, it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, well, now, Matt, it means something. They're all for realsies now, including the trivia. In quarter 3, we're going to have weather. We're going to have fashion. We're going to have a travel report. We're going to have injuries. We're going to have numbers. Everything that you need to know for your upcoming Seahawk game against the Denver Broncos. And, of course, quarter 4, we'll put all that together. We'll have our predictions, our game balls, our prognostications for the game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos on Sunday. Before we start, please like, share, subscribe at the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. We have a game day thread on there every game day. It's a lot of fun. We're on Twitter. We're on email at 12manfanjamshow at gmail.com. Check us out on iTunes and Podbean too. Sorry, if you so desire. All right, let's get to the first quarter and our thoughts about the preseason and the roster. All right. It was a crazy preseason. The Seahawks went 0-4. I always have a theory you don't keep scoring preseason, so I really don't care about that. It was an interesting preseason because a lot of changes happening. Dustin, give me somebody who either was a pleasant surprise or a sad disappointment, or one of each if you want.
Well, I have to say that I got to give it up to Brandon Marshall, because when they signed him, I assumed it was another TO type signing, and he was just a guy that was going to be there and would not make the roster. I didn't think anything of it, but he stepped up and pleasantly surprised me and made the roster. And not only made it, but he's probably the 3rd option right now, so that's pretty impressive to me.
You know, if you go back at our show, you were not in the minority in that. I think everybody thought he was going to be just a camp fodder.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he proved us wrong.
Yeah, anybody disappointing?
Anybody disappointing?
Yeah.
I'd say Byron Maxwell, just because he's a guy that we'd counted on in the past, and the guy couldn't even get on the field. Yeah. And they reached an injury settlement with him today, and he's gone. So he's free agent now. But that's a little disappointing to me.
That's a little disappointing. Matt,
he can come back after 6 weeks, though.
Ah. Well, there you go.
I think that was before the injury settlement, because he's a free agent now. He's not even affiliated with the team.
That's what happens when you release somebody from IR with an injury settlement. They can sign with any other team right away, but they have to wait a certain period of time before they re-sign with their original team. It's usually about 6 months.
Oh,
gotcha. That makes sense.
I see. So, Will, what about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, somebody who was a pleasant surprise for me, it's somebody I liked when we drafted him, but hadn't really done much yet, was Quentin Jefferson.
Yes.
I thought. Wasn't terribly flashy, but definitely looked the part. Somebody who can play both defensive tackle and defensive end and be a key part of that rotation. I think that's somebody who can make some plays for us this year.
I agree. Any big disappointments?
Amara Darbo. Hoping we'd at least get him out onto the field to see what he could do. But when he couldn't get into a single preseason game, it's like, it's just not going to work. And then Patriots claim him off waivers and then release him with an injury designation. And now he had surgery. It's like, it's a great kid. I don't know if you remember the great backstory.
Great backstory.
And you wanted to see more from him, and sometimes it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, now that happens. Hopefully he'll bounce back from the surgery. Mark, what's your thoughts on a surprise and a disappointment?
Well, I guess maybe it's not given where we drafted him. Maybe it isn't too much of a surprise, but I'm happy that we look like we have an up-and-coming pass rusher in Green, for sure.
Yes.
That's just going to help out the secondary, and it all starts up front, and we really need, especially now, to develop somebody new. And he looks like he's, going to make it worth watching. So
good. Disappointment?
Will mention.
I disappoint a lot of people. So,
it would have been, nice to see that project kind of, come through, because there's been a little bit of time invested, and So we'll see. You never know. Sometimes people, are gone for momentarily and then they're back at some point.
True.
And, so we'll see what happens there.
Very true. I'm sorry. Matt, what are your thoughts on anybody disappointed? Anybody surprising?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I don't watch many of the preseasons, to be fair, because I try and just because they don't count and they're on at 3 a.m. So it's like, am I really going to stay awake until 5
right.
to watch football that doesn't count? I don't know. I mean, for me, everyone said a lot of the great things that I was going to say, so I don't really want to sort of waste time on it. But I think for me, I was sort of emotionally disappointed that I knew that Ryan was going. It's sort of a case of you could see that was happening.
Sure.
It was like, oh, that's the end of an era as well. I was Brandon Marshall. I have to say, I agree entirely. I think he, really was a standout for me, and it wasn't something that I was expecting at all. So yeah, there's some good things, there's some bad things. It's preseason; it doesn't count. Bring on the Broncos. Let's start.
Amen. Real quick for me, great surprise, happy surprise. Watching Will Dissly on the offensive line. If you have not watched him block, this kid is unbelievable when it comes to blocking as a tight end. I say put him in at guard and call it a day. But we got a really, really outstanding young player in Will Dissly, the tight end out of Washington. Love to watch him play. Yeah. I'd say the disappointment for me, I don't know. I really like the way Trey Madden played. Last year was a disappointment for me, but this year I thought he played great in the preseason. He's finally putting his helmet on somebody. I love the two-back system. They didn't really have a really major disappointment. I don't know.
Can I ask, what did you think of Jermaine Ifedi against the Chargers?
Well, see, when you're so low, when your bar is on the ground,
what do you think of him against Ingram? What did you think of him against Ingram?
Oh my God! There was a movie here called White Man Can't Jump, and at one point, White Man Can't Jump. The one guy turns to the other guy and says, "Opie pissing on you," and that's exactly what that was.
Oh dear.
Ingram pissing on you, Ifedi. But anyway, hopefully that's changed. We'll see. He did have a strong showing after he was actually pulled for Fant. So we'll see. Hopefully that will get going.
One of the only reasons I was watching some of the preseason was to see your responses on social.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, okay, and if you want, maybe my disappointment is this because Odiombo was actually a starter for us, and then was awful in the preseason in the second half of games, means against second and third stringers. And then they cut him, and nobody picked him up, as far as I know. So Odiombo, is Odigombo, I guess. So,
oh God,
clever. That was clever.
He's Odigombo. There it is. All right.
I don't know if clever is quite the word I would use.
Took hours to come up with that.
Odiombo is Odigombo. All right. Somebody that has also gone as John Ryan, as you said, and God, I love John Ryan. What a great guy, and he just didn't stand a chance against this new guy. And this roster's had a lot of new faces, but maybe the most intriguing new face is this punter, this Australian punter extraordinaire, Michael Dickson from Texas, who has become a kicking sensation for the Seahawks. We are now sitting and watching punts like we used to watch punt returns with Charlie Rogers and Joey Galloway. In fact, he's so interesting that I think he deserves his own edition of Headlines and Punchlines. Yes, headlines and punchlines. We take usually try to come up with, a headline punchline from the news, but in this case, it's got to be about our punter. So, a Michael Dickson edition of Headlines and Punchlines, which is a great nickname for our new punter would be. So, great nickname for our punter will be. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Will, a great nickname for our punter would be
the Punt Whisperer.
The Punt Whisperer.
Gotta be careful how you say that.
Yeah, you pronounce it correctly.
Oh my.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah.
A great nickname for our punter would be
Michael Dixon. He's the dingo that ate your baby.
Wow. That's not a punt, Mike. This is a punt.
This is a punt. Mark, a great nickname for our punter would be
Boomerang, because eventually his punts come back to earth.
Oh my God! Ooh. Boomerang!
Nice.
I'm crossing all these ones off the ones I was going to use.
Marvelous. Matt?
Right, one's a bit Okay,
go ahead.
I've got to say, mine's a bit more of a thinker's one, okay? Because I'm down to my worst one now.
You want me to set you up? Here we go. You ready? Here comes the lob. A great nickname for our punter would be...
So, right. Michael Dix, MD, is his initials. So he could be Dr. Depth. But that sounded more like some awful 1970s porn name.
Wow.
Dr. Depth.
That's actually very good.
I told you I'm at the bottom of the list now.
Oh, wow.
Good ones have gone.
Well, I've got a couple. I guess I got a couple. My first one is Michael Dix, son of a bitch, what a punt. And then I like this one, and I saw this online, and I wish I could give credit. I cannot say I came up with this. Somebody had this as their 2-word Twitter when he kicked the ball. I said that's the funniest thing. It's perfect, and that is punting Jesus. I think that's just beautiful. I wish I could say I made that up, but I did not. And then my last one's a little musical because, you know, a big fan of the Seahawks. We have a lot of musicians in Seattle that are big fans of the Seahawks. And one of them is Sir Mix-a-Lot, of course, huge Seahawk fan. And so why wouldn't he be Sir Kix-a-Lot? Because, you know, he likes big cunts and he cannot lie.
Yikes.
Oh, dear.
You other brothers can't deny. All right, you get the idea.
White Man Can't Rap is the other.
Yeah, that's
Only
the name of the
Eminem is
sequel to
gonna
White
do
Man Can't
this.
Jump.
Yeah, Sir Kix-a-Lot. I could work as Sir Mix-a-Lot. I think would like that, but I don't know. Punting Jesus, I like. But Boomerang. Something with Boomerang is awesome.
I like Boomerang.
All right. That's it. That's the end of the first quarter.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
Coming up on this episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, lots of show left. We share travel tips, and if you're visiting Denver, but right now, coming up next, it's time for our 2018 mind-blowing season predictions. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Go to a store, buy a hat, and get ready to hold that onto it. We're not kidding.
Holy shit, it's the second quarter.
All right, welcome back. A second quarter of episode 607 of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show. And, you know, we've been sitting here talking between breaks, and if you're listening to the first quarter, I don't know why you would be listening to the second quarter and not hear the first quarter, but we came up with some really good nicknames for our new punter, Michael Dixon, and the one that we decided we're going to go with as a group is Dr. Depth.
No, it's not.
Isn't it really exciting? Wasn't it Dr. Depth?
The Boomerang.
Yeah, because, you know, I'd leave the poor music handy.
Does.
Dr. Depth.
Dr. Depth.
Dr. Depth, sorry.
Depth.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll make
That's
you yell
from-
Boomerang.
I'm not making this up.
He goes the extra yard.
Are you ready? This is actually from
The
supposedly
longest yard.
No, according to YouTube.com. This is from a movie called Dr. Sex, so it fits.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Depth, Dr. Sex. There you go. All right. Enough of the porn music. It is now time for our 2018 mind-blowing predictions for the season. All right. Predictions that will excite you, they will frighten you, and they just might make your mind explode. So please enter this quarter carefully. All right, before we do the mind-blowing predictions of 2018, we're going to do the mind-blowing predictions of 2017 because it's always fun to look back.
Is it too late to predict?
Yeah, it's too late for 2017. Now, last year at this time, Will was in Green Bay, so he sent me his early, and he said the Seahawks will finish in the top 5 in offense and defense. Well, just missed it by a little.
Much.
Yeah. 15th in offense, 22nd in defense, just a bit outside.
Just missed it. So
yeah.
close.
Andy, Northern Hawk, Canadian Hawk, you know. I know.
Some kind of hawk.
Andy Lindenart,
Knucklehead.
who used to be a friend of mine until now, said that Russell Wilson would be the NFL MVP. That's actually pretty good because he was, you know, top 5.
Came close.
Yeah. I'm going to say Matt's. Dustin said that Russell...
Oh, that'll be good.
Russell Wilson will have less passes and more yardage and a 70% completion and over 4,500 yards. He threw for 3,000 yards and 61% completion. I think 3,900. But anyway, so you were kind of close. I said not really.
Closest without going over, I guess.
Yeah. I said the NFL, we'll lead the NFL in takeaways, and we were 9th in the league with 25. We were 9 off the pace for first place. But my favorite is Matt. Matt's 2017 mind-blowing prediction was this. Blair Walsh will kick 3 game-winning field goals. I'm not making this up.
Wow.
Like for the other team?
I am not making that up.
About it, he won 3 games for the other team.
Yeah.
He actually made 3 kicks. Full stop.
So you were just a little off. So I'm going to ask Will. Will.
Oh, shit.
What is your 2018 mind-blowing Seattle Seahawks season prediction?
Excuse me.
Oh, the hell with it. Go big or go home.
Yes.
I think my prediction.
Hey, you know what? Hey, wait. You said go big or go home. I tell my wife that every single.
And she goes home.
All right, play the Dr. Sex music again.
Oh, God.
Okay, my mind-blowing prediction. Seattle will have not 1, but 2 1,000-yard rushers this year.
Oh.
2,000. Say what? 2,000-yard rushers. Wow, that is go big or go home.
Wait, which way are they running? Sorry.
As far as coverage. And will one of them be Russell Wilson? That's the next question.
Yikes.
No.
Okay. Okay. Now we go to Mark. Mark?
Yes.
What is your mind-blowing 2018 season prediction?
That Jermaine and Fetty will have fewer than 15 personal fouls against him. That'd be a heck of an over-under.
Yeah, it would.
Okay, try to come up with something at least realistic. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I know. Huh? We need plausibility here. Russell Wilson will throw for 5,000 yards this year.
5,000 yards for Russell Wilson.
He's going to join the Marino Club.
Wow.
First one. Anyway.
Nice. Big numbers on the offense here. Matt, what is your mind-blowing prediction for this year? Blair Walsh and go ahead.
I could be serious.
Okay.
I'm not though. But well, firstly, I think Russell Wilson will not be our leading rusher, which is
that's mind blowing.
That's mind blowing in itself, considering last year. But I'm okay. Let's go with kicker. I'm good with kickers because I know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go with what's his name, Janikowski.
Janikowski.
I was going to say the little bloke, little monster out of Monsters Inc., the little green one, Rakowski. With a big eye. I reckon he'll kick a 61-yarder and match his 2009 record. Not the 63-yarder from 2011 because he's going to do that. But I reckon he'll get 61.
You just put Mike Wazowski in my head. I can't get him out.
That's who he is. Mike Wazowski every time.
Mike Wazowski.
Hey, Wazowski. Kick the ball.
Oh my God.
I think you're going Seabass from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, so you're going
61 yards. He's going to kick
because last year you're going with the field goal kicker again because it worked out so well.
Yeah, because I'm good at that. It's my professional opinion about kickers.
Excellent.
I love Janikowski. It's like a drunk fan wandered out onto the field.
It is
massive. What a fat man.
My son jersey doesn't fit every time he lines up the kick a ball. My son starts laughing. He just can't help it.
Well, he's more comfortable from 61 than he is from a PAT distance. That's
anyway. Mom's getting sassy, people.
It'll be fine. It will all work.
All right, Dustin. What do you got for us? Mind-blowing 2018 Seahawks.
All right, let's see. Mind-blowing. Okay, here's something that's never been done before.
Ooh.
The Seahawks are going to win both conference games, and the Super Bowl is going to consist of a scrimmage for the Seahawks.
Yeah!
I gotta admit that would blow my mind.
Yeah, that would blow my mind too.
That's like something they would say. I mean, remember the Saturday Night Live sketch with Ditka? Ditka coach. Ditka will play Ditka in the Super Bowl, and they will win by a score of 503 to 212.
It sounds about right.
Yeah.
No, my real prediction though, Barkevius Mingo. He's been in the league. I think this is his 6th season now. He has 9 total sacks in his career. I think this year he's going to double his career sack total.
Ooh, 9 more sacks for Mingo.
And Mingo was his name.
Oh, those are all really good. All right. Here's what I have. Mine's also about the running backs, but it's not 2,000-yard rushers. Their running game is better. Let's face it. I think, and it just has to be better than terrible. So we need
Just like low base to
at
start
that
from.
point
Wow.
with that low bar. But I think they've really worked hard at this. Offensive line coach, new offensive line ideas. The blocking tight ends, the new running backs. I just think that it's going to be a big part of our game. They're insisting on it. Run first and defense is what took them to the Super Bowl. That's what they want to do again. I think that because of that, running backs and fullbacks, because I'll include Trey Madden or whoever's playing fullback, anyone not Russell Wilson running the ball, will combine for over 15 rushing touchdowns this season.
Whoa.
The running backs are going to pound the ball into the end zone. And God, I hope it's not Carson at the one who fumbled not once, but twice. So 15 rushing touchdowns for the Seahawks from the running back or fullback position. Book it. It's going to happen. All right. Now it's time for our 2-minute warning.
Holy shit, it's a 2-minute warning.
Yes, this is our 2-minute warning. And, during the season, this is where we will compare our predictions or prognostications in game balls from the previous week, and we have scores on that. But there is no previous week, so I thought this would give me a chance to explain the third annual Posse Prediction Challenge. If you're new to the show, what we do, the 5 of us, take on 5 challengers in a team game where we total up our points and we see who wins at the end.
To the death.
To the death.
Yeah, and so far we're undefeated.
Thank goodness that's not the case.
To the death. Yeah, thank God it's not the case, or none of us would be here. That last year was the second. We had the same people twice in a row. And, last year the results were devastating. Well, to us anyway. We were defeated again by Team 12. So, masochist that I am, I asked them for a rematch. Do you want a three-peat?
Best of 3.
And guess what? You want a three-peat? They said, yeah. So this year's a rematch. Team 12 against Team Posse. Here's how this works. Team 12 is the same team from last year. Jose Rodriguez, last year's overall champion, I believe, who said, of defending his crown, oh, yeah. Tom Lucas, who's on the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook page and has been on the show, when asked if he wanted to beat us again, said, well, duh. My son, Little Mo, who just smiled and said, of course. And, of course, author of 2 great books, 2000 book, Notes from a 12-Man, A Truly Biased History of the Seattle Seahawks, which is a great book, and his 2014 follow-up, The Seattle Seahawks Super Season, Notes from a 12 on the best season in Seahawks history, also both great books. There are must-reads for 12s everywhere. He is Emmy Award winner, Mark Ty Turner, who's working currently on the show Naked and Afraid, and when I asked him to return, he said, I'm totally up for a three-peat. Absolutely. So he's up for a three-peat as well. And then the artist best known by Seahawk fans as the writer of the Game Buzz comic strip every week, Mike Pascal, also been on the show, who, when I asked if he wanted to come back, said, hell yeah, I ain't afraid of Dustin and his Google this time.
Oh, he should be.
Though I am a little scared of Little Mo. He's sweet on the outside, but a Cam Chancellor on the inside. Thankfully, I'm above trash talking. My proud personal pals on Team Posse. To these 5 gentlemen, 4 gentlemen and my son, I say to them, the disrespect has been noted and will not be forgotten. And I'm just saying that. Team Posse is me, Matt, Mark, Dustin, and Will. And each week we will tally not only our individual scores, but a total team score. Scoring each year is as follows. Prognostications on the button is a point. Game ball, there may be more than one. You get a point if your game ball gets a game ball. Prediction, over-under. If you hit the over-under, you get a point. Predictions. If both teams, you hit both team scores, you get 5 points. If you hit one team score, you get 3 points. Overall closest gets a point. If you get the point spread exact, let's say that you say the Seahawks win by 7 and they win by 7, you get 2 points. So again, I'm trying to make it as advantageous. And if you're on team Posse, you get 2 points just because I'm keeping score now. That's the only way we're going to win this.
Still
now,
gonna lose.
I know, Mark. Mark, you had a question in the break about this, about points.
Oh yes, are we getting points to start the season? Are they spotting us?
Sadly, no. They're not spotting us any points, although they should.
No handicap, huh?
Yeah. So
That
if
was
you're
like 4.
no, again, if Oh, man. As always on Sunday, if you're new to this show, before game time, we will post everyone's score, game ball, and prognostication on the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Facebook wall on the game day thread. So you can then look at it, and if you want to join us and put your own score there and check it out and see how well you do, and you can probably kick all of our butts as well, that you're welcome to do that. It's a lot of fun. Some people do that, and it's a lot of fun. So
on the game day thread itself.
The game day thread itself.
Anybody that's listening, if you want a good laugh, do come along to the game day thread on game day and watch the game with us, because you'll watch Moses lose his pieces every time a video fucks up.
It's so true. It's so true. It is so very true. I'm not somebody. I just know at Christmas I'm going to get in a Fetty jersey, but anyway, yes, it's a lot of fun. We try to keep it in check as much as possible, but we are fans. So we'll kick up that competition off in the fourth quarter with this game. But for now, let's go ahead and let's head to halftime.
Holy shit, it's halftime.
All right, a lot more show coming up. How rocky are those mountains? How high is a mile high? How angry is Earl Thomas? Yes, all these answers and more just around the corner. But first, it's another fine edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia, and that's coming up next.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Yes, it's halftime, and welcome to another fun-filled edition of the best play-along Seahawk-themed trivia game show on the internet. It's time for 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. And here's your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Yes, thank you, me, and welcome to another fine edition of 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia
of the world.
The trivia game that tests the knowledge of both our posse and our listeners. Our contestants are the posse themselves, Mark, Will, Matt, and Dustin, and here are the rules. So here's how the trivia game works. There'll be 2 rounds of questions. Each contestant answers 1 question each round. If they get it correct, they get 1 point. After 2 rounds of questions, there'll be a final trivia question worth 2 points. If there's a tie after that, then the tie players go on to a special secret overtime question where the winner becomes reigning 12-Man Fan Jam Show Trivia Champion and also gets a prize chosen especially for them. As an added bonus to those listening on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel, the questions and possible answers will be displayed on your screen so you, the viewer and listener, can play along as well. If you do, please let us know how you did on the questions. Remember, there's no Googling, no phone a friend, and please, no wagering. However, there is a lifeline. Before taping this show, my 2 charming Seahawk fan children, Mosette and Little Mo, did take the quiz as well. If the contestants want to know what the kids said, they can ask that but once and only once during the entire game show and only in the first 2 rounds. Now let's get ready to play 12-Man Fan Jam Show Halftime Trivia. All right, you know the rules. The kids did take the quiz, so you can ask them once per show, once per 2 rounds only. And we will start with Dustin. 1, 2, 3, or 4, Dustin?
3.
Dustin's going with 3. Maddie?
2.
Will?
1.
And Mark is 4. So as you know, there's always one question that's not quite a football question. The rest of them are about the Broncos and the Seahawks. Will, I'm proud to say you do not have a football question. Here you go.
It's just like coming home.
Hey, Will, do you like breakfast? Are you a breakfast guy?
Yeah, sure.
You weirdo. No, I'm kidding. So
I don't eat horse for breakfast.
Well, here's what I want to know. A Denver omelet. What do you add to green peppers, onions, and cheese to make a Denver omelet? Do you add bacon, ham, or sausage?
Ham.
Damn.
Ew.
All right. Fine. Ham.
Damn.
Little Mo said bacon. Mosette said ham. You said ham. You're right.
Ham's the beer refreshing.
Wow, that takes me back. They still make that? Ham's beer? I haven't seen it forever. No. They turned it back into water. All right. Maddie. Hello. Maddie, the last time the Seahawks won a game in Denver against the Broncos, how many interceptions did Bronco quarterback Jay Cutler throw? 2, 3, or 4? Jay Cutler, did he throw 2, 3, or 4 interceptions against the Seahawks the last time they beat the Broncos?
Right. Well, it's gonna start off early. Let's ask the kids.
Ask the kids. Little Mo and Mosette both said 2. Is it 2, 3, or 4?
Well, so you can't ignore that sort of football
unity.
Knowledge. So, I'll go with 3.
Sibling unity, I think is what they call that.
Yeah, I'll go with 3.
And so because of it, you're going with 3. That great logic there, I see. And here's the thing about your logic. You should have gone with the sibling unity 2.
Damn it.
Actually, 2.
That was Cutler's first ever game, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. Yeah, probably.
I remember.
Because 2's kind of low for him. I think he got more experience. He was throwing 4 or 5. So
there you go.
He probably only threw 3 passes that whole game.
He was a rookie. He was warming up to the big interceptions.
Yeah. Oh, man. I've never seen a guy smoke and throw a football in a game before. All right. Dustin.
Yep.
The last time the Seahawks played in Denver against the Broncos, by the way, that was 2010. How many turnovers did the Seahawks have? 2, 3, or 4? How many turnovers for the Seahawks against the Broncos in 2010? 2, 3, or 4?
Well, I would like to say none. That would be my...
None is not on the board. I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
No reason to get salty.
Ouch.
Don't be getting salty.
I'll say 2.
2. Well, Mosette said 2. Little Mo said 3. You said 2. Nah, it's 4. 4 turnovers for the Seahawks in that game.
That's bullshit.
Well, listen, y'all salty tonight. Damn. Mark, you still there?
I am. I'm. Everyone's playing my song.
Everyone's song. Here, wait, Matt. Wait. We wake up Mark in the morning. All right, I'm up. All right.
I know. They're like the first 2 bars of this trivia show.
I keep it handy for you, Mark. Here you go. Mark, the first time the Seahawks played Denver against the Broncos was 1978. How many total turnovers were there in that game for both teams? Combined turnovers, 4, 6, or 8? 4, 6, or 8.
Wow.
Combined turnovers, 1978.
Year I was born.
And Matt, that year, this country was heavily under prescription drugs, including the NFL.
But Burt Reynolds, baby.
Hey, God bless him.
Rest in peace, Bandit.
Oh boy, let's see. Boy, what was it? 4, 6,
4,
or
6,
8?
or 8. How many combined turnovers for the Broncos and
turnovers? You know what? In the spirit of 78, we're going 8.
No, in the spirit of 78. He's going 8. Well, Mosette said 6. Little Mo said 8. You said 8. Oh my God!
Oh, somebody got one right, and it was Mark.
You know what? I wish my eyes were open when I swung and actually hit the ball for a change. It would have been such a glorious night.
Hey, do you want to guess? Do you want to guess, Mark, who had more? It was 5-3. Who had more turnovers?
Well, now this sounds like a trick question.
Well,
so
if you get it wrong,
I'm going to fade myself. I'm going to fade my original pick and go Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle 5-3. Listen to him. Check out the big brains on Mark. All right. Will and Mark have a point. Maddie,
there's something like doubting yourself and winning.
Dustin, this is unacceptable.
I know. We're gonna step it up next round.
All right. Will, 5, 6, 7, or 8?
7.
Mark, 5, 6, or 8?
Let's see. He couldn't possibly have a I'll go 5.
Oh, yes, he could.
Dustin? Yes, Dustin, 6 or 8?
8.
And that leaves Matt with 6. Okay. Okay, Mark. Yeah, you're right. I didn't. It's a football question for you. The first time the Seahawks played the Broncos in the playoffs was 1983.
Yes.
Who had the most receiving yards for the Seahawks in that game? Was it Paul Johns, Steve Largent, or Charles Young? Most receiving yards in the playoff game against the Broncos: Paul Johns, Steve Largent, or Charles Young?
Paul Johns. Wow.
I met Paul Johns. Did I tell you I met Paul Johns? Training camp 2004. Neil invited and walked me over to Paul Johns, introduced me, and we talked about it. Great guy. Such a neat guy.
Yeah. Well, those are 3 names I enjoy: Johns, Largent, and Young.
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
Lawyers you're like. Boy, I have no idea. We'll go to the kids.
Okay, Mosette said Steve Largent, and Little Mo said Charles Young. Nobody said Paul Johns.
Nobody said Paul Johns. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm gonna go Young.
You're gonna go Young?
Just, if only briefly, yes.
Young briefly. Say that. Nah, it was Steve Largent. It was obvious. Largent with 76, Paul Johns with 59, and Young with 38. All right. Okay. Next up is Matt. Matt, are you familiar with a TV show called The Dukes of Hazzard?
Is that the car that used to go?
That's one.
Yep, that's it. The General Lee.
Well, there was a guy on that show named Denver Pyle, an actor named Denver Pyle.
Oh gosh, was that real name?
Yes. Who did Denver Pyle? Who did Denver Pyle play in the TV series The Dukes of Hazzard? God. Did he play Boss Hogg, Cooter, or Uncle Jesse?
And yes, those are all actual characters.
I know.
Actual names.
Let me say them again. I just like to say it. Boss Hogg, Cooter, or Uncle Jesse.
And John Schneider's the name of one of the other actors, too.
Well, and Alan Wopat was the other one.
Dennis, you like that penis.
You have to give me those names. You're going to have to give me them names again, because...
Boss Hogg.
Yeah.
Cooter.
Yeah.
Or Uncle Jesse. Denver Pyle. Who did Denver Pyle play in the
only one that I could probably say Uncle Jesse, because that's the only one I could probably say without making
It's not the Full House Uncle Jesse. It's a different Uncle Jesse.
Those are all three people from the show. Those are three people from the show. Boss Hogg, Cooter, and Uncle Jesse were all on the show.
Cooter. Oh no, Jimbo. No, I'll go with Uncle Jesse, because that sounds that's the most plausible.
Less offensive. Mosette didn't say Cooter. She giggled and said Cooter. Little Mo said Uncle Jesse. You said Uncle Jesse. Yes!
No idea.
Nice.
Uncle Jesse!
Nice job.
Yes.
Nice job.
Probably the easiest non-football trivia question ever proposed.
Oh, see, I knew.
But it
Mark would have crushed it.
Not the
it went
to
That's right.
And that show was canceled before I was born, I think. So
probably. It was conceived before you were. Hey, Will.
Yes, sir.
The last time the Seahawks played the Broncos was 2014. Who's the
I was at that game.
Okay, well then you'll probably know this. It's going to be like the Denver Omelet question. Who had the only interception for the Seahawks in that game? The only interception, was it Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, or Earl Thomas? Who had the only interception in that game against the Broncos in 2014? Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas.
Cam Chancellor.
You sound like you're in a spelling bee and you're like walking up to the mic. Cam Chancellor. And you're
can you use it in a sentence?
K-A-M-C-H.
Go ahead. C-H-A-N.
C-E-L-L-O-R.
Cam Chancellor. Ding. Little Mo said Cam Chancellor. Mosette said Richard Sherman. You said Cam. Ding. Yeah. You got it.
Dang.
Will's got 2. All right, Dustin. Everybody's got a point for you, but there's no pressure because, it's a regular season. Right. All right. Question 8 for you. Final question. Regular question. The first time the Seahawks beat the Broncos was 1979. Do you remember that, Dustin? No? Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite being born years.
How many turnovers?
He was -8.
How many combined turnovers were there for both teams in that game? 3, 4, or 5? 3, 4, or 5. Seahawks and Bronco turnovers in 1979.
I don't know. 4?
I don't know. 4? Lil Mo said 3. Mosette said 5. You said, I don't know. 4? No, it's 5. Denver with 3. Yeah, Denver with 3. Seattle with 2. So, well, okay, here's the score. Will with 2, Maddie with 1, Mark with 1, and Dustin with 0. It is time to go to the final question. All right, final question. Here's how that goes. It will be a number between high and low, of course. The first closest one to it without going over gets 2 points and possibly the win. There is possibility for overtime, so we will see. The order will go Dustin, it will go Maddie, it will go Mark, and it will go Will. Okay, here we go. The final question is this, Dustin.
Yeah.
Last time the Seahawks beat the Broncos, How many rushing yards did Marshawn Lynch have? Rushing yards for Marshawn Lynch the last time the Seahawks beat the Broncos.
82.
82. Rushing yards, Matt.
What did he say? 82.
He said 82.
86.
86. Mark.
I'm going to go 81.
81. Will, 81, 82, 86.
87.
Wow. You guys. These are really, really good
Can't
guesses.
take him anywhere.
No, you can't. Okay, so in case you're wondering, and you are, the last time the Seahawks beat the Broncos, Marshawn Lynch had 88 rushing yards, which means great guesses, but somebody had the touch. You got the touch, Will Harrison. Congratulations. You are episode 607's 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion
of the world.
Thank you. Please hold your applause.
Yes,
I will.
Yeah, we are.
To the champion. To the champion. All right. Wow. Those were good guesses, guys.
Gonna cancel the trophy now.
Yeah, cancel your trophy. You're a winner. All right. This has been another crowd-pleasing, heart-stopping, award-winning, fun-filled edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia.
Of the world.
Way back with the second half of the show after this reading by Reverend Moses. We'll be right back. Stan, take us out with the touch. You got the touch.
And now it's time for a reading of Seahawk Positivity with the Reverend Moses.
Yes, this is the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. A reading from the book of the 2018 NFL season, chapter 1, verses 3 to 12. And lo, many changes were brought to the land, but these changes were not feared, for they are changes made in the warm glow of Seahawk positivity. For as they did then travel onto the land a mile high to meet with the orange horses, there was no fear, there was no shame, there was only the thundering sound of those within Seahawk positivity, raising up their voices like never before. And as their voices did raise, then their foes did fall, and they did return home triumphant over those orange horses, and there was much rejoicing. Go forth, my brethren, go forth and spread the good word of Seahawk positivity. Praise Large and praise Cortez, praise Walter Jones, praise Kenny Isley, and as always, go Hawks.
You're listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Holy shit, it's the third quarter.
Yes, welcome to the third quarter of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Hey, you! Yes, you crying in your John Ryan Seahawk jersey. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Join our Facebook group, 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Do it now before you find yourself on the waiver wire. Congratulations, Will, on a job well done.
Sorry, hang on.
Right on cue.
Good job. Good job.
Professionally done, as always, by Will Harrison, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. A great win for Will, apparently, in more ways than one. So, anyway. Hey, listen. We're going to talk about the Seahawks hitting the road and going to Denver to play. But before we do that, we want to get you ready for the game. And this is how we do that. One of the things we do sometimes is we do a service to the Seahawk fans who may travel to Denver as well. If you've never been there, we're here to give you our inside scoop of the really great sights to see, and it's our 12-Man Fan Jam Show travel guide. Yes, the 12-Man Fan Jam Show travel guide is here to help you find the special out-of-the-way places when you travel with the football team. This week, it is a trip to sunny and beautiful Denver, Colorado, nestled a mile high in the Rocky Mountains. So when in beautiful Denver, here's some out-of-the-way places you may not have heard of. So when in Denver, be sure to take a visit to the Bob Denver Museum of Famous Gilligans. Famous Gilligans! That's an old show. Mark,
Tumbleweed.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. When in beautiful Denver, be sure to visit the John Elway Dental School.
Ouch.
Okay, you thought that was painful.
Welcome.
How about the John Denver Flight School? Is that any better?
Ooh.
Too soon?
Ooh.
Too soon, yeah.
So much for
Rocky Mountain High, yeah. And finally, when in Denver, be sure to visit the Peyton Manning Omaha Comedy Club. See, it's Oh My Ha Comedy. Yeah, okay. I know. Always a thrill. And here's what else is a thrill. Seeing how healthy these teams are going into this game by turning to our own doctor, Dr. Dustin, with the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Injury Report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news!
Doctor, give me the news.
All right. Well, so let's start with the Broncos because they're easy. Nobody's hurt. They're all playing.
All right. That was easy.
Yep, that's that.
But for us.
Yep. And then for the Seahawks, we got a few injuries. Of course, KJ Wright isn't playing. He had his knee scoped a couple weeks ago. He's going to miss at least this week, which leaves the door open for Shaquem to step up, and we'll see what he can do in an actual game. So that should be kind of fun to watch, actually.
Yes, it should be.
Fluker is out, which is unfortunate.
Yes.
And then actually this Squeezy is going to be playing for him at guard, which is another one of those guys, going back to earlier in the show, that I didn't think was going to make the team. I thought it was just kind of a weird signing, but good thing they brought him in.
Yeah.
Dante Johnson not playing. He's got a groin injury. I'm sorry, he's questionable with the groin injury. We'll see what happens there. On the positives, Deion Jordan and Doug Baldwin are both playing, even though we haven't seen him in the preseason.
Yes.
And that's it.
And it was one more guy that's not necessarily an injury report. He's not necessarily on the roster. It is a game day decision. Of course, that's Earl Thomas.
Right. Yeah. We'll see what happens there. Pete,
and I suspect we won't hear a word until right before the start of the game.
Yeah, Pete wouldn't say one way or the other.
Yeah.
Last time I, talked to him, I listened to the radio.
And nor would I.
Although we do know who they're cutting to make room for him. Simeon Thomas was waived today.
Oh,
right.
Okay. Well, that's kind of a hint. Yeah. So I don't blame him. I wouldn't say anything either. But when he said he had a great week of practice, that's all I needed to hear about that. So, actually, Fluker was playing really well, and I think we're gonna miss him, and we're obviously gonna miss KJ Wright, but we'll just have to see. We'll see how things turn out. Thanks for the report. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say, more linemen we have, the better. Going against Chubb and Von Miller is going to be kind of interesting, so we'll see how that goes.
What the hell was that?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind, didn't it?
What happened?
You were talking, I heard.
We just heard.
That's the neighborhood here, guys. It's Niner fans on motorcycles with no clothes on, and it's getting out of control.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Okay, that's all right. All right. Well, thank you for the report, Dr. Dustin.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's take a look at what the weather is going to be for the game by doing the right thing and turning to a guy living in Europe. Yes, it's time for the 12-Man Fan Jam Show Weather and Fashion Report with Matt from merry old England. Oh, Matt!
Yes, thank you, Moses. So, I had to create this weather forecast on my own this week as my assistant Earl, you remember Earl, well, he too had decided to hold out for more money and refused to come to work. So, naturally, I traded him to Dallas today for $20, a glory hole free pass, and a Clark bar. But it's okay. I'm a professional at this. And I've decided to use astrology to predict this game's weather, mainly because we're at Mile High Stadium. It's closer to the stars than any other stadium, so obviously astrology is the way to go. So after probing my inner Virgo, wrestling with our very own Reverend Moses' Leo, and having spent many hours watching Uranus, I have determined the weather will be dry and sunny. Temperatures will rise from the 70s during pre-game into the mid-80s throughout the rest of the game. A slight variable breeze will bring some relief from the heat at times, but it shouldn't cause kickers any issues.
Yeah.
Now, on to the all-important part of my forecast, the fashion.
Yes.
Well, there really is only one thing to be seen in this weekend, a complete outfit of Nike where you've cut out all the logos, leaving you looking like you either have a huge moth problem or you pulled the clothes out of the nearest garbage can to complete your mentally disturbed tramp look. Also, remember, as we are a mile high, there are two things which you must do. Firstly, you have to have sex in the stadium to say that you've officially joined the Mile High Club. So obviously, men, socks need to be kept on at all times.
Yeah.
And, of course, remember, as we are a mile high, the air will be thin. So make sure to wear the oxygen masks that will fall down from above in the result of needing a field goal in the fourth quarter for the win with only 20 seconds remaining on the clock. That being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather. Moses, back over to you.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you, Matt. Our 12-man Fan Jam Show weather and fashion report, always accurate and always dependable. And always accurate, dependable also is one way to describe Statsman Mark. Let's take a look at this game coming up by the numbers and other games by going by the numbers with Statsman Mark. Mark.
Hey, Dennis. Thank you for the
Mark.
applause.
Hey, it's Mark, everybody.
It's
All
okay.
right.
A buzz sound will do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I tell you what, this neighborhood is just on fire tonight. And
roll them up.
Hopefully not literally.
Yeah. Oh boy. Let's see. So by the numbers, we got for our beloved Seahawks. They are 3-point dogs in Denver, and the over/under is 42.5.
42. Yeah. Wow.
And a half.
Yeah. and they're 2.5 points. The Seahawks are 2.5 under.
The site I looked at, they're getting 3.
Yeah, that's about right.
So it'll be up to your own devices what you want to do with that information.
Unless you're in a state in which this is now legal, in which case do it.
Yeah, we don't have that right now. All right, Mark. Anything else you want to share with us on the numbers there?
Well, you know what? I will, whichever way I go on this game, I will fade myself. So I'll come up with oh my goodness, with an answer and then go opposite. You could hear any of that.
Well, I can't wait to hear that. Thank you, Mark, for being by the numbers. And a quick disclaimer: these numbers have been presented for entertainment purposes only. The 12-Man Fan Jam Show does not endorse betting or anything at any time at anyone. Please do not take these or anything we say on the show ever seriously. Please don't ever take anything we say seriously. And that's the third quarter.
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
All right, coming up next, we take all that info plus other more hopefully helpful info. We make our Seahawks Broncos game predictions. You're listening to 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Make us part of your pregame tradition. We'll be right back after this.
Hello everybody, this is Statsman Mark, and when I'm not listening to Charo's greatest hits on 8-track tape, I'm listening to the 12-Man Fan Jam Show.
Holy shit, it's the fourth quarter.
Are we? Time for the fourth and final quarter of your episode of 12-Man Fan Jam Show. In this quarter, we do make our game score predictions, our prognostications, and of course, our game balls for the upcoming game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. All right. Let's see what we got going here. Jose. First we did Team 12, of course. Jose said I'm going to do this early because it'll be my birthday week, and I'll probably be drunk and won't want to forget to do this. So, happy birthday, Jose. Prognostication.
And designate someone.
Yes. Prognostication will run more than 3 screenplays, so Russ doesn't get killed by the pass rush. We will win 20-13. Game ball to Chris Carson with a rushing TD. Now to all the people who say we're going to go 4-12 this season, to the people who broke their ankles jumping off the bandwagon, to my opponents on Team Posse, I have one thing to say. Bring it. Go Hawks. That's 2 things, but we'll let him have it.
Yeah,
all right. Tom, 27-21. Hawks. Game ball to Chris Carson, and Carson with 100 rushing yards is his prognostication. Little Mo, 31-7. Seahawks. Game ball to Wilson. Carson will have a rushing touchdown. Mark, Ty Turner. This first game is really tough to predict. Denver, like Seattle, isn't the team it used to be. However, the Hawks historically have been terrible in Denver. So with that, he picks the Broncos winning 20-17.
Well, the opening game.
Game ball to Carson and a late turnover will doom the Hawks. All right. Moving on quickly. Mike Pascal predicts Seattle winning 17-16. Game ball to Russ. And his prediction, Jadapowski will make his first 50-yarder as a Seahawk as he has orange flashbacks in Mile High playing his former division rival. Okay. Now we go to a team posse. That would be you fellas. And let's start with Mark. Hi, Mark.
Hello.
What you got for me?
Well, things are starting to quiet down around here, which is a relief.
You can put the gun away now.
You know, anyway, I'm telling you. Wow, you know, opening on the road is tough. I've got a good feeling about this game, you know, and I won't have to fade myself, I believe. No, I do. I like, you know, at Denver, Case Keenum. I don't know. I don't think Denver's going to be all that great this year. So I got us taking this game 23-20.
Okay.
And a quick check of the math reveals, just leaning for the over just slightly. And
just slightly.
And we're going to need RW. I think this is going to be a prediction season where everyone just picks RW because he did it every week last year.
So Wilson's your game ball?
Wilson will be the game ball because he is going to have over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdown passes.
Oh, okay. So, both those are your thing, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And if you have him on your fantasy, which I don't, I do have Baldwin and Penny. All right. Anyway.
All right, so
well
done.
Good times and good numbers.
Oh, yes, very much. Will?
Well, I wish I had a good feeling about this game.
Oh, here we go.
I'm sorry, guys, but starting on the road, going to a place where it's going to be hot and dry and thin air, and it's just, you know, I think it's going to be an ugly defensive struggle, kind of like what we saw with the Eagles-Falcons game last night.
Oof.
And I think it'll be a similar result with the home team winning an ugly one, 17-13. My prognostication is that the teams will combine for 7 or more sacks. And my game ball goes to Frank Clark.
All right.
How many flags?
Wow. Yeah, really.
Was it 26? 26 last night?
Yeah.
26 accepted penalties. 26 accepted penalties and 2 offsetting.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Well, if you count the offsetting, there were as many penalties as points, practically.
That just sounds like such legal ease. 26 accepted. It was much higher than what was called. You know, it's like, anyway.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? Well, you know, what can I say? Your disrespect will not be forgotten. Dustin, what do you got for us?
I say screw all that noise. I think Seahawks are going to win the game.
I know all these guys picking. Listen, all these guys picking party over country. I don't know. You know,
I don't get it.
Yeah,
Earl Thomas is going to hear that disrespect too. I guarantee it. He hears everything. He's everywhere. Except the training camp.
He was everywhere else.
He's everywhere he wants to be.
There you go. Yeah, so I say Hawks are going to win 27-24.
Get.
So does Matt, apparently.
Yes.
That's always fun.
Somebody else took the person that I was going to give the game ball to, but I'm going to do it anyways, Chris Carson's. And that's just because I really want us to have a running game. I really, really want that to happen. So game ball's got to go to a running back.
All right.
And I'll say he scores 2 rushing touchdowns.
All right.
Well, that'd be good for fantasy.
Yeah, it would. Matt, I think I know your score is.
Yes, well, my score is going to be 27-24.
What?
But yes, I'm not going to change it now because that was what I put down ages ago. Game ball, though, I'm going to give to Russell Wilson because I think he's going to come out and lead the team. I'm going to change that. I'm not going to do a rushing prognostication. Let's do 2 touchdown receptions for a tight end. I don't know which one. That'll probably be Nick Benet, but Vinette, whatever the hell they
are. How about just tight ends in general? It could be 1 to 1 the other. That's fine.
Yeah, 2 touchdown receptions for a tight end. I know my tight end.
He does. He knows his tight ends. Oh. Sad.
You gotta be okay, Matt.
All right. I'll be fine. Can't live if living is All right, my turn. The 2018 season starts playing a team a mile high, and I'm not talking about a flag football game at a Grateful Dead concert. Is that still a band? They still touring? No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Now they're grateful they're not dead.
Yeah. No, it's the Denver Broncos and their mile high offense of Case Keenum and, well, it's Case Keenum anyway. Defensively, the Broncos are anchored by all-world defensive end Von Miller, who, when not modeling for a clip art pic of, quote, successful black men in glasses, or modeling for Lens World, is one of the best defensive players in the NFL. The Seahawks, meanwhile, have gone through so many changes that even the most diehard fan keeps a scorecard handy, and you better print one off weekly and keep it in pencil. Everyone wants to talk about what the Seahawks have lost, but look at what they still have. All-world players at quarterback and middle linebacker. For starters, Russell Wilson, who, when not saving Grandma's cat stuck in a tree or getting Tommy's favorite baseball out of the bushes for him, thanks, Mr. Wilson, no problem, kid, say no to drugs, is still a wizard at quarterback and a legitimate threat every time he touches the ball, which at quarterback is every freaking snap. Watch the Seahawks show the NFL that they all say to the NFL. The disrespect has been noted and will not be forgotten on a 2018 tour of We Are Still Alive and Kicking. Blair Walsh jokes aside. Watch my game ball, Tyler Lockett, show why he's about to explode in the NFL. Watch the Seahawks become ball hawks with 3 turnovers forced, my prognostication. And watch the Seahawks show that there is indeed still a damn good football team in Seattle as they beat the Broncos by a score of Seattle Seahawks 31, Denver Broncos 20.
Wow.
So it shall be.
I'm hoping either you or your son are right, to be honest.
I would love to be able to relax at the end of this game. Yes. Well, it is not the end of the game, but it is the time to bring another wonderful and amazing 12-man Fan Jam show to an end. Thank you so much for wasting some time with us. We hope you had some giggles and maybe you learned a little something. On this show, what did we learn? We learned that Dr. Depth is a great name for a porn movie. We learned that Mark needs to move, apparently. Dustin can be salty at trivia. Will is smarter when he sits on the crapper, apparently. Matt knows his tight ends. And Earl Thomas is everywhere he wants to be. So, on behalf of my partner in crime, Matt, our newshound, Shadowhawk Will, Statsman Mark, Dustin, Little Mo, Roger Goodell, Mozette, Lyle Alzado, the old barrel man, rest in peace, from the Broncos, Buddy Hackett, Sheila McRae. Good night, everybody, and as always, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Oh, a mile high in Denver with all those rules about that marijuana.
The wacky tobacco.
Yeah.